chosen ones do not cross this red line. Acts chapter 1 verse 2 says that until the day that Jesus was taken up, he continues to give commandments by the Holy Ghost to his chosen ones. So chosen ones are commanded ones. They are people that work under specific boundaries. They are people that work under specific instructions. That means you don't just go where you see an harvest. You don't just go where you see a gap. You go where you have been commanded to go or assigned to go. In Matthew chapter 10, we find a case study of 12 disciples that Jesus chose to send them on a specific spiritual mission. So this chapter contains specific instructions, specific commandments, specific rules that a chosen one must always follow in the mission that they are sent to do. Verse 5 to 8, Jesus outlined clear boundaries. He outlined clear forbidden zones that the disciples were supposed to observe. For instance, in verse 5 and 6, he clearly defined their audience. He told them, do not go in the way of the Gentiles. Do not go in the way of the Samaritans. Instead, go to the lost sheep of Israel. He clearly defined whom the audience they were being sent to was. Also in verse 7, we see that he clearly defined their message. He told them, preach the kingdom of heaven. In other words, don't go preach your own personal agendas. Don't go preach your own doctrines. The message is the kingdom of heaven. The message is Christ and Christ risen alone. In verse 8, he also defined their job. He told them what they were going to do. He told them, you're going to heal. You're going to cleanse lepers. You're going to raise the dead. You're going to cast out devils. In other words, he clearly defined that their mission was spiritual. It was a mission of liberation, deliverance. In other words, they were being sent to a spiritual mission. So in case you are among these 12, and then you went to identify the business opportunity and began to do it in that area, you had sent yourself. So rule number 1 that a chosen one should always keep is boundaries. God will always give you commandments. When he gives you a job, he will give you instructions on how to do it. He will clearly define the scope of your job. If you are called into the prophetic, he will clearly tell you what to do as a prophet. And to be safe, keep the boundaries, keep the instructions, keep the commandments that God gave you for that specific assignment.